And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summer presentation of the Mars TV Dota 2 League Changsha Major Qualifiers here. We're into the lower bracket of the Group B South American Qualifier. We've got ourselves Stars versus Gorillaz-Pride. A little bit of lag here. Let's just reset that. But we got ourselves Game 1 of a best-of-3 series. Don't see the ticks here, but it is... Oh, wait, no, it is a best-of-1. Okay. Actually, to clarify that, round 1 is going to be best-of-1. The next round is going to be best-of-3. So the winner of this will be going up against the team that was knocked down to the lower bracket by SG Esports. That's Midas Club. So, Stars and Gorillaz fighting for seeding right now. Basically, the bottom seed will have to play in round 1 of the playoffs, whereas the second seed can advance a little bit further down the line, at least have an easier opponent for their playoff match, because they're going to be third seed going against the fourth seed of the other group, the opposing group, which is now going to be also giving them a chance to advance even further down the line, going up against Midas Club. So we'll see how it pans out, but right now we are jumping into Phase 2 of the draft. Phase 1, pretty standard from what you'd expect. The Visage Band is a little interesting. We've been seeing that hero a bit more, but still pretty uncommon. It's a very niche pick, but, you know, obviously Gorillaz-Pride, they know what they want. They're banning out Chen, Dark Willow, Viper. Pretty standard stuff. They go for Sand King Disruptor. They're all about these like big initiations AoE team fights. So it's very cut and dry in that sense, but I think that there's a lot of things that can be done in the game itself in terms of early movement. So, well, I'm excited to see what those two heroes can do, two of my favorite heroes personally. But Gyrocopter Tusk, still pretty strong in general. Reserve time taken down now. Bagavisk really thinking about what he wants for this third pick here. He's going to commit to the Wisp. So this is, I guess it makes sense they waited this long and thought about it this much, because there are a lot of factors. First of all, Wisp is not that strong against Sand King or Disruptor. The fact is, you're setting up with Relocate and AoE stun against you with the Sand King. Disruptor can glimpse back either the Wisp or the Wisp symbiote, whoever he brings with him, or he can just kind of kinetic static right on top of them and blow them up. So pre-BKB, it's actually going to be very difficult for those Wisps to do a lot in this game, because if they see you coming, man, they can start up an Epicenter, they can just get in position for a Disruptor combo. Like, Wisp is a very dangerous pick. But he also brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot of sustainability, a lot of good burst healing, as well as just enhancing the carry to output that much more. So we have seen Gyrocopter paired with the Wisp previously. We also often see like one extra guy who can be a little bit more of a frontliner, like a tankier strength hero. Either way, BKB is very necessary this game at this point. Like, if you want to be relevant this game, you need to get a BKB, because you're going to be seeing heroes kind of start to clump up, as Wisp has to be innately tied to somebody. Like, he has to be right up next to somebody, like the Gyrocopter, and then, you know, you have all these other heroes that are pretty short range, like the Tusk and maybe another strength melee, that are going to be all clumped up in a little ball, and is very punishable by the AoE lineup. I think that Stars draft works very well in some situations. I don't necessarily think this is the situation, though. I think this is the one where it's like, okay, well, it can work really well in a pub, it can work really well even in a pro match against a different lineup. But when you're up against this AoE, Sand King, Disruptor, Puck, like, you have to have so much momentum behind you, or there's a lot of turnaround potential just with these AoE abilities innately. Night Stalker going to be the pickup here, most likely for the off lane. So it's going to be a 4-position Tusk, 5-position Wisp, Night Stalker, off laning, and then we'll have, of course, Gyrocopter, who can take up the mid or the safe lane. Juggernaut coming through here as a tried and true carry. Just Gorillaz-Pride is such an easy to execute lineup. Like, it's really not too difficult for this draft to succeed in their hands. I actually think that right now, while I do think that Stars gave more trouble to their opponents in the matches that we got to see yesterday. I cast both the round 1 matches there, and Stars did fight it out against Midas Club extensively. Like, that was a much closer match. Whereas Gorillaz-Pride kind of got stomped all over by SG Esports, which, you know, it's SG, so what are you going to do? But I don't know, I feel like in spite of the fact that Stars had, in my opinion, a better showing in the match yesterday, I do think Gorillaz-Pride's draft just, it speaks to me as something that's just so simplistic, so easy and simple to execute. So we'll see. It looks like it might be that Puck Gyro matchup in the mid that we've been seeing a lot more of. Just being able to phase shift out the homing missile is a really big deal for trying to keep yourself up in the lane. And we're going into the final phase here. Going to ban out the Broodmother. They just didn't want to get pushed down. They're assuming the puck is going mid, and they are worried about that off-lane option. So I think that Stars could have handled the Brood, but it's just annoying. It's just really frustrating for the Wisp in particular. Like, he just has to run away from spiders constantly. He doesn't really have great tools to deal with it early on, and Gyrocopter won't always have the flag available, or might just be on the mid lane, like I said. So, we'll see. The one thing that makes me think Gyrocopter isn't guaranteed to the mid lane, where he has been seen almost every single match, is Suze is playing the mid lane. And Suze has a very different playstyle than a lot of the other guys here. He is much more of that playmaking, like intelligence or maybe TA or something like that. Like, he loves to jump around. He was Storm Spirit yesterday. He was zipping all over the place. He was definitely trying to carry the team on his shoulders. And I don't know if Gyrocopter's that exact kind of hero. He's much more like somebody that joins up on the fights, works with his team very closely, and you know, is just very reliable in where he moves and how he uses his abilities. Whereas, you know, you can do a lot of flashy stuff with a lot of alternatives, Shadow Fiend, Storm Spirit, that kind of thing. TA is going to be that ban, so it looks like Gorillaz-Pride agree with me on that front, that Suze is much more likely to be picking up something special for himself. They ban out the Death Prophet and the TA. And if you think Gyrocopter's in the mid, just those are wasted bans. So I do think that it's going to be a safe lane Gyro, supported by the Wisp, and we'll see what that mid matchup entails. But right now it looks like Razor might be heading that way. Riding the lightning here between the Disruptor and the Razor. And now, again, no reserve time for Stars. They have to make their snap decision. Suze, is he going to be playing the Gyrocopter, or is he going to be bringing something else to bear against the Razor here in the mid lane? He should have some help from the Tusk. He should be able to make some cool things happen. But he still needs to be able to see us. And against Razor, that's tough. They're not going to random. They're going to be able to pick up their Queen of Pain. And yeah, like I said, intelligence solo mid type player. Sherlock is going to be running that safe lane Gyrocopter. Suze on the mid with the Queen of Pain. Very nice pick because you are able to break that static link with the blink back. And yeah, now you've got some good potential with Bagavisk and Hane to roam towards your lane and punish Greedy if he gets too greedy. All right, I think this is pretty good. I'm feeling a little bit less the Razor pick. I think that it's great for dominating lanes, and I think their overall objective is just to get to the mid game on the right foot. But I do think that you know, it's kind of limited in what it can actually accomplish after it gets out of laning. Razor is a good hero overall, not going to be like winning the game for them. That's really going to be the other heroes getting early blink daggers and seeing what they can do. And the game will be paused, at least momentarily, to get us underway. Most of these items should already be bought, so we can kind of review what we're going to be looking at early on. Most of the warding going to be coming out from Masoku here. This will allow... Oh, my camera speed is a little too fast. Sorry. Beginning of the day. Didn't really help, did it? Still pretty quick. Alright, well. Anywho, we do have the Disruptor buying up the wards, the Sand King going for boots early on, so Moose is going to try to be very active here and try to be very intentionally involved, like just trying to make ganks happen, put pressure out on the lanes. Can set up some really good kills with the Juggernaut, most likely. As far as the offlane goes, again, it is this Hane Night Stalker. And that hero, he's good, he's strong, he's fast, but during the daytime, he's still kind of weak, and he still is very susceptible to being killed off by this trio. Disruptor, Juggernaut, Sand King, a very scary combination of heroes in a try versus try setting or in a 3v1. So we'll see if Moose makes any finds any opportunities to roam on the Queen of Pain mid once that blink is on cooldown. But in general, it's going to be the Night Stalker that has to watch out for them as much as possible. And it looks like he's really looking for the early Tranquils for roaming. Yep, so we do have K1 and Masoku making their way up top with the standard duo. Chris Brown is actually going to be playing the puck here in mid. So that is one thing that I wasn't sure about, is what exactly can Greedy accomplish in the mid lane? If he is up against the Queen of Pain 1v1 mid, Jig can just blink back to break every static link. Like, oh, you might as well just max Plasma Field. Like, you're not able to accomplish much at all. But instead, they're actually going to be bringing Greedy bottom. And that's going to change things up quite a bit. He's going to need help from Moose. Like, straight up, he can't solo bottom by himself. But if he's like 1v1 against this Night Stalker, it might work out pretty well in their favor. A little bit of musical lanes I expect will happen. Sherlock is bottom 2. The Gyrocopter and the Night Stalker are not laning together, guys. They have to make a decision one way or another. And it just, they're kind of yet to make that decision. Night Stalker was hiding in the tree line. Looks like he's making his way to the north a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. Anywho, they'll figure everything out. They'll get their ducks in a row in just a moment here. But yeah, K1 in a very aggressive position, covering up the bounty runes. And it looks like it's just going to be, well, I would say a 2 for 2 on bounties, but nobody's claiming this one. I don't think Greedy will ignore that. So it's just sitting there. This rune is going to be picked up like 30 seconds into the game. Why not? You know, just gold on the table. Here comes Greedy. Nabs that one for himself. And we'll kind of go from there. Masoku dropping the ward here. Radiant not aware of this, at least for the moment. Nedbone doesn't see the Disruptor. Very close, but doesn't actually see it. And that's going to give some good intel to the top lane. All right. So it is going to be Suze versus Chris Brown. This matchup plays out a little bit differently. It's going to be Shadow. Once he sees that there's no phase shift, he just Shadow Strikes. Basically, he's trying to force out the phase shift so that he can land a Shadow Strike without it getting dodged out. 3 heroes up on top, already putting some pressure onto the Juggernaut. He's got Tangos, he's got Style Shield, he's got a spin. So as long as the spin's not on cooldown, he shouldn't die here. But the Disruptor is more vulnerable. Nedbone getting targeted first. He does have Tether, but it's not going to get him anywhere. And that is going to be the first blood going to Moose as he roams in with that Sand King flank. This is really great lanes for G-Pride, I have to say. I mean, you get the Razor versus the Night Stalker. That's perfect. Chris Brown has taken a lot more harassment than you'd prefer, and he's, you know, down on CS, but he can definitely bounce back. It's only a minute into the game, and now getting phase shift. But top lane is where the action's going to be at. Again, this is a very strong trio of heroes. And as the lane gets pushed out, Stars are definitely going to have to like fight it out. Focus down. Again, probably the Disruptor, I think, is the easiest kill. But I think no matter what, Moose and K1 are going to generally be able to get one kill in exchange. And that makes things tricky. Oh, has the Tether away. Should be able to get over to Bag of Visk here. So he's taking a lot of damage, but Bottle will allow him to bring that back up. Yeah, there's 2 schools of thought going up against a level 1 Wisp in a tri-lane. Is basically either you can completely ignore him because he doesn't have overcharge and can't heal his allies, or you can focus him down because he's still the squishiest guy and the highest priority target in general. He grabs double bounty rune and TP's back to the lane, not wanting to miss CS. He starts with the TP anyway, so it's really only cost us 75 mana. Masoku does get missiled up here. Sherlock does not have Rocket Barrage just yet, but just going to be able to gradually right-click down Masoku. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Taking a lot of damage from the spin, though. Sherlock is going to be dropping low here. Not enough for the second Burrow Strike, though. And Moose really needs to get at least a Clarity or something out. Yeah, a couple Clarities coming on the way, so he can get a reset. Sand King without mana isn't going to accomplish too much. Double stack of the easy camp. Looks like he's going to pull that one. And that's going to reset the lane very nicely for them up top. Haste room for Suze. Around level 6, level 7, that's very dangerous right now. It's just kind of a little bit more annoyance to deal with. This Night Stalker is not going to have a fun time in lane. That's just straight up how it's going to go. We have 14 and 5 CS versus 7 and 1. I'm surprised he even has that much. But, you know, long term, there's no way that he's going to be able to get too much out of this situation. And not until the nighttime when he can start roaming and trying to go for kills. Speaking of going for kills, actually, Sherlock a little bit out further away. He does have Boots of Speed, so he's going to be able to get his distance by Bag of Visk. Okay, no glimpse. No kills yet. Back and forth here on the mid lane. Puck is now able to bounce back 15 and 3 against 15 and 2 on terms of CS. And able to put some damage into Suze despite those raindrops. So he's got to get those raindrops down pretty quickly. Suze doesn't want to buy 2 in a row. So if Chris Brown could just try to shoot through that, he's going to have a very nice advantage in lane and even some kill potential against this Guap. Surprise no flat cannon. A lot more homing missile has been picked up recently. Just different players favoring the homing missile more and more. And I agree with that in general. Oh, actually roaming in the mid lane is going to be the Night Stalker setting up a kill here on the puck. Very big kill. Bagavis starts it off, but it's Hane for the finisher. If the Night Stalker's not there, that's not a kill. So good rotation there. And that's definitely what you want to accomplish in your first and second night. It's just little micro rotations like that that can net some key kills early on. In the regen room for the Queen of Pain. Very nice indeed. Trying to remember what I was rambling about before that did occur. And yeah, it comes down to the fact that Flak is actually really strong in try versus try. If you have vision on all 3 heroes, I mean, you just, getting essentially 9 free auto attacks against heroes, that's very powerful. But a lot of people have been favoring the homing missile. It can theoretically net a few more kills, but Sue's in mid, gonna get silenced. They're stacking their disables though, so it should be a blink out here by the Queen of Pain. She's got raindrops, and she gets the Burrow Strike and the Waning Rift stacked on top of each other. So definitely no kill potential there, and pretty much just gets healed to full by the Wisp. Could even actually bring him up to full with another Tether Bottle. Down bottom, gonna be some pressure here on the Razor. It's actually gonna be the Gyrocopter rotating in, and it looks like Razor is gonna be going down as all 3 just run all over top of him. Doesn't have like an Observer Ward to see any incoming TPs, so whenever the creep wave's off the tower at nighttime, it's gonna be hard to really know what you're up against. And now we're actually starting to see Stars kind of bounce back. The laning phase, a little rocky at first. Obviously, you see Dire side G-Pride have the top CS for 3 of their heroes. But yeah, we're going to see some kills start swinging the other way, and that's kind of what Stars need to have happen. Okay. Double coil, double burrow. The coil's not going to accomplish too much here, but Moose in the thick of it. Doesn't get to use his magic wand, just goes straight up down. And just a very active game. Do apologize. I'm going to have to go ahead and edit one little thing here. I'm kind of managing a lot of broadcasts simultaneously, so we're just going to zoom out, watch this mid lane action, hopefully not miss too much kills, and I'll be back with you guys in about 30 seconds. Jump here on the puck. Looks like they're going to be able to finish him off. No rebuttal from Masoku. He tries. He's actually in a vulnerable position now. He is going to be snowballed in. They're going hard on him under the tower. Could get some more support TPs helping him out here. He's got the kinetic field. He can lock them in for a long time here, but nobody's coming to help. This feels like a free kill. And team? Anyone? Juggernaut's farm and jungle. Low mana, no Omni. All right. So they pick up 2 in the mid lane. Stars feeling pretty good. I don't know. That's the kind of situation you kind of feel frustrated by. It's like, okay, what are we really accomplishing if we're not able to at least turn those kills around? And I do miss the kill in Gyrocopter as I am multitasking some other behind the scenes action. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of back and forth here. Razor popping the ultimate and Sankey getting some nice burrow strikes to kill off the Wisp and Gyro and even up the score a little bit here. There we are at the dashboard. All right. And we're going to see a fight break out here. It's going to be Moose, a little bit too far forward here. Does again have that full magic wand, just going to sandstorm in the thick of it. And there is currently no detection against him. But Greedy's the one that's going to be trying to go in deep here. He's going to go in big plasma field hit. Doesn't actually connect on Hane. No, he's got the raindrops and it will negate most of that. But here comes Suze coming in. Big damage from the Queen of Pain here. Will lock Greedy very low. They've taken down the Sand King. They will take the Razor as well. And Juggernaut once again not doing much. They're pinging. They're saying, hey, if we're fighting, you better be pushing. This guy has been sitting on this jungle camp for a little bit too long. Like, pretty simple. If you have 4 heroes fighting bottom, that means that there's nothing to defend top lane. You should absolutely be pushing top lane at this point in time, and K1's just kind of taking the back seat here for this game. Needs to be a little bit more active. Could even be getting free hits on this tower right here, right now, but instead rotating back into the jungle. Alrighty, so starting things off, let's look at the early levels here. We are going to see Wisp falling behind here, Nedbone only at level 3. The rest of the support's sitting at level 4 and moving in towards 5 and 6 pretty quickly, but with the Tome of Knowledge coming up shortly. Top levels here, mid laners are level 8, Jug just hit level 9. Playing a bit of a selfish game, but I think that if he can get a couple key items, then he's going to be able to make that worthwhile. Just overall getting the most farm on the map. As you see, that we transition over to net worth, and he is 1,700 gold above. So, you know, it doesn't feel great that he's not getting his team that much in terms of fighting and powers, but you see a fight break out. Sonic Wave attempted, but Moose will get the Burrow Strike in time to prevent it. A Centaur Stomp coming on everybody, but in the end, the Sonic Wave whiffs, and the Razor will gradually take down here. Now coming in, Chris Brown with the haste rune. Very nice triple Dream Coil and triple Orb, doing lots of damage, taking down the Gyro, taking down the Tusk. And the Queen of Pain trying to get that blink away. Finally gets it through by that haste rune pursuit. That Burrow Strike coming through, connects, and that will be the death of the Queen of Pain, Fairy Fire or not. In the meantime, there was that Night Stalker getting picked up. I believe he got Omni Slash, but we'll see the Wisp fall, and the Tusk commit to the TP. Shards, not going to do too much. And yeah, that was a Night Stalker getting Omni Slash under tower in the midst of it. Alrighty, so just overall early item progression, we're going to be seeing drums most likely from the Razor here. And already up for the Gyrocopter on the other side. Juggernaut has the Yasha, going to be moving in towards the Battle Fury next. You're just going to go for the Yasha first and then the Battle Fury rather than the other way around. But either way, a lot of nice movement speed, attack speed, good farm rates coming through here. And Puck, still pretty far from his Veil early on. It's not a too expensive item. I mean, the 2 Null Tellers is about half of it, but still. Needs a little bit more to get that one completed. Tier 1 top finally does fall. Jug very clearly in the net worth lead, now doubling many of the other cores on the side of Stars. Pain in pursuit of Moose on the Sand King. He's locked out with the Ice Shards, and he is going to be right-click down. Magic Wand or not. Sue's picking up the last hit on that one. Making their way around mid lane, though. Lots of pinks coming out. Very clear idea of the pressure that's coming against them. Might not be aware of this ward, though. These are some nice deep wards that were just placed out. Gives them a lot of good intel into the movement of Stars. And G-Pride should be able to make a couple of good plays off of that. Already finding 2 in the woods here. Just go for the double Rift. Yep. Kinetic Static on top of the Waning Rift. Burrow Strike onto 2 as well. And Queen of Pain able to do absolutely nothing in that situation. Maybe one of those abilities that wasn't necessary. Not really needing to use the Dream Coil and technicality, but it works out pretty effectively. Just guaranteeing those kills and the tower immediately thereafter. Wisp still looking for level 6. And just kind of gradually making his way there. All he's got right now is Bottle and Wand. The 5-position Wisp is just a very vulnerable type of hero. Oh, looking for an opening here. They pop the Darkness. Can't get the Silence onto Chris Brown in time, though. So they're just looking for Moose instead. They do pop the Dust, but with the Glimpse back, it looks like that Moose will be able to slip right out of there. Top lane is going to go down. Sherlock and Nedbone working together to finish off that Tier 1 up top while they get to deny here in mid. And K1, no matter what item he started with, he's rapidly approaching that Battle Fury. Only a few hundred gold off of that one. Nice little efficiency coming out from Sherlock, though. Clearing out stacked easy camp and the hard camp over on the side. And does pick up his first item of the game, which is going to be the Force Staff, moving towards the Hurricane Pike. I saw Hurricane Pike, I believe, from Sherlock yesterday, and it just was, you know, mostly for utility. It doesn't offer as much in terms of farm speed as some alternatives, but just overall, it's, you know, good to get that attack range, make sure you're not going to be able to be kited in the fights. In the end, though, the only time that I feel confident this Gyrocopter actually carrying the game is when he has a BKB. This guy just needs some raw right-click damage and then needs to get a BKB. There's no question about it. So the fact that he's lacking like phase boots, for example, right now, it's just a little awkward. And he actually Force Staffs himself a little bit further forward, but right now, G-Pride smoked on the opposite side of the map aren't doing too much at all. Just taking the tier 2 down bottom in exchange for the tier 2 up top. There's a flank coming in. They can go for TPs here. And they are. They're going to go for the Juggernaut TP on the Shrine. They're going to get snowballed onto Moose. Who's going to... I think it's just going to be... Oh, isolating the Night Stalker in the trees. He's going to try to fly away, but the Plasma Field will finish him off. Lots of TPs, lots of jump aways from the Radiant side, and it's only the Tusk that's left for dead. So taking 2 hero kills and defending their tower, G-Pride get everything they want out of this situation. And plenty of static link coming their way. Just some extra right-click for some farming. But yeah, the tower remains at 400 HP. They've taken the bottom tier 2. They defend their top one, and they get 2 kills out of it. And that's just extreme value at this point in time. And we're seeing this Gyrocopter just fall further and further behind in terms of farm. Battle Fury, Yasha, now up for the Juggernaut. He looks like he's considering both the Manta style and the Butterfly. Just in general, he's getting so much out of this map. Tier 2, just getting right-click down. There's very little that can be done against it. With all the static storm available, you can't really hard commit onto a hero like Juggernaut. So they'll pop the Glyph. But the gate comes back. Night Stalker now in a really bad spot inside the kinetic field. Cannot hunt through the night without popping Darkness, and that's something that you can't afford to lose right now. They lose the Night Stalker. They lose the tier 2 top tower. Are they actually going for more? Oh my goodness, they're actually going to the high ground here. 16.5 minutes into the game. They are so confident right now. G-Pride looking to wrap this best of one up. We do have the call down finally coming through. Greedy is the target here. Going to be taking a lot of damage, but it is going to be this kinetic static onto the Gyrocopter. Lots of damage coming in from Soothe. Big Sonic Wave coming out onto G-Pride, but there's no follow-up. They need some kills. Finally, Soothe blinking forward, grabbing one with the Scream of Pain, and it looks like Masoku will fall to the Ice Shards. TPing in, Hane, the first one to have gone down earlier. Now caught on a tree, caught on a cliff. Hunter of the Knights up to the cliff, and it expires at just the wrong time. Now Soothe on an island, caught inside the Waning Rift, and Omni Slash down. They can actually look to go for high ground again if they want to. They got 45 seconds without the Queen of Pain, no Sonic Wave to worry about, and Bakavisk on an island as well. Nice little Ice Shard play, but it's just too little too late. They're back up to take this tier 3 tower. There's nothing that Sherlock can do. Oh my goodness, this is just so devastating. They're going to go ahead, spin TP out. They just want to take the tier 3 and open up the shrines. They aren't trying to take racks at this particular moment in the game. Could be a decent homing missile tick here, but not enough to actually set up kill. And in the end, actually, Puck going forward onto 2. Going to focus on the Wisp here. Very, very low HP. Did not get the snap with the clips, but they are going to be able to bring on the Wisp anyways, and Moose showing off that Blink Dagger with an Epicenter Burrow. Very nice little play there, and the end result is Puck a little far forward. Going to be taking a lot of damage. I think he just dies to this Shadow Strike, unfortunately. Denied by the Sand King. And that'll leave us where we are. 20-12 is your overall kill score. G-Pride up now 14,000 net worth in this game. Just dominating the map, taking fight after fight, pushing in the towers. Again, it's just such an easy to execute lineup, but they're doing it extremely well. Just kind of forcing stars into fights that they really don't want to take. Getting surprise initiations all over the place. And in the meantime, Juggernaut just keeps farming and farming and farming. He had a bit of a slow start, but man, he focused on himself, and you can tell the difference between a Gyrocopter that has a 4-staff and a Drums of Endurance compared to this Battle Fury, Manta Style, and 2,400 gold Juggernaut. Doubling the net worth of his opposition. Queen of Pain, looking for Orchid, far from it. I already have the Silence from the Night Stalker, so I don't even know how much of a game changer it's going to be. It can be very helpful, but if Puck has a Yules or something, then maybe it doesn't matter too much. If this Orchid had come out like 3 or 4 minutes ago, I think it could have been very clutch. But the longer this game goes on, the more he's just falling behind, the more items he needs. And especially a Yules or a BKB of his own would be a really big deal against both Puck and Disruptor. So he's thinking offensive, and that's great if he had the momentum behind him. But this guy is like 5th on net worth, and he's up against a lot of silences and a lot of control. So I do think at this point in time he's kind of regretting the decision to go for the Orchid, wishing he had a defensive pickup available to him. Because he has to play so safe now. Like, he got a massive Sonic Wave through his choke point here with the steps, and he still was hesitant to go forward. Like, there are like 4 guys on 100 HP, and the Queen of Pain is reluctant to blink just because he knows he can get silenced. He knows he can get absolutely devastated with the wrong movement. And I just think he needs an item to circumvent that. We'll see if they buy enough time, but right now Roshan dropping very quickly here. Aegis going to be going to K1. Butterfly almost complete for him. BKB now up on the Razor. It's actually going to be the Sherlock that has to get relocated out. Gets caught inside the epicenter blink, and the Wisp will sacrifice himself. Goodbye. He's going to go for the TP, trying to time it out. Does not succeed. He's locked inside the Thunderdome. Tethers away, trying to sneak himself out into the tree line, but in the end, he is definitely going down. A little bit of a wild goose chase, though, in the trees until they can finally find him. Tether again. And finally glimpse back for the death. For the kill. With a little precious ball of blue. The companion cube. Alrighty. So just overall, really strong position for G-Pride. They have now taken out all of the outer towers, but this one, they can start working on the shrines. They're kind of passing up opportunities here, but it looks like they just want to focus on the mid lane while they have this Aegis in play. And Butterfly just 1,100 gold off for Mr. Juggernaut. Last stand coming soon, I should say, 4 stars, but Sherlock is still racing to try to get to this Black King bar, and I just don't see it happening. He needs another 1,200 gold, and they're already looking to be threatened on the high ground here. Just walking right up to the barracks. Going to go for the melee. It's a key decision between just some guaranteed damage that can heal or some that can heal back, but it looks like they're going to get it. If they get jumped on, you've got Sand King and Disruptor waiting to react. The Glyph is gone, and now the melee racks too. There's nothing left in the tank for stars. If they can't defend this entire top lane, if G-Pride could just walk up here and take what's theirs, then what can be done? The Aegis Juggernaut is just too much. They'll focus on him. We'll try to Manta dodge out. He goes for the Omni Slice. Big damage coming out of Sherlock. Gets isolated. Gets killed off. The Gyrocopter's down. Plasma field across. Everybody's getting obliterated. The Wisp will make it back to the fountain, but double buyback is forced out here and now with Amasoku's combo. But they'll go ahead and retreat out. They've taken the lane of racks. They've forced out 2 buybacks. Even if all 5 of them die here, they're still in just such a ridiculously strong position. Looks like Juggernaut, the one with the Aegis, is the only one to walk away. But nevertheless. Yeah, they got a little split up. They dove the fountain unnecessarily. They're getting a little puppy with this one, but they're just so dominant right now. I mean, forcing the Gyrocopter to buy back there. So that buyback actually cost him 800, but he was able to get, I think, a big bounty. I mean, he must have ended a kill streak, right? He killed Greedy, and he just got a lot of assist gold, it looks like. So he's back up to 2,900 here, but 1,000 off the BKB means he's not in a position to get out of this one. Doesn't have a TP scroll, relocate, just used, but canceled out. and that means Sherlock is definitely going down here. Nedbone, first to fall. Sherlock trying to get away. Oh, whoa, 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 Booze! Oh, that was very close. Doesn't sandstorm away from the gyrocopter, just lets himself drop down to 5 HP. Whoops on the chat wheel. But it all works out in the end with Masoku glimpsing back the gyrocopter. And K1, the one-man army, saying, okay, I can taunt you at your base. Hello, Radiance. How are you doing today? Would you like to taste the edge of my blade? Alrighty. And he's got about 1 minute, 10 seconds left on this Aegis of the Immortal. So he's going to try to make the most of it. Chris Brown going in. Single Dream Coil. Not really going to cut it here. And now they're just going to combo up onto K1. Suze getting in a good opportunity for the Sonic Wave, but it's on cooldown for another 6 seconds. Walrus Punch onto the Juggernaut, but he just Omni Slash brings down the Night Stalker. Sankey killed off by Suze. Nice little Orchid play there. Does avail him that kill. He's got the Sonic Wave. He's got a good line for it, but he needs follow-up. Going in. K1, they're trying to wait out the Aegis, but they've got 38 seconds. There's no way they can wait for this. They have to go now. They have to fight now. Greedy is the exposed target. And they're just going to fall back. G-Pride, they take another tier 3. They take another melee rack. So 3 racks advantage at 25.5 minutes. Something that is almost impossible to come back from. The Stars will attempt it. They even pop back on this Night Stalker. Him getting picked off pretty early in the fight. Butterfly has got to be complete at this point. Like, what is he sitting on? Okay, yeah, Butterfly is complete. And moving to the next big thing, it looks like a Lincoln Sphere. And we'll have that in just a moment. We'll be in a really strong position at that point in time. The smoke play, Stars trying to make something happen, but they just find the Sand King again. Masoku, what are you doing out here? I guess they're trying to fight this. Greedy is going to be BKB on the left side. It's going to be a Disruptor that is at the lowest HP for G-Pride, but right now it's just all scattered. Hain's the one that looks like he's going to be diebacking. And they do get the Eul Scepter on back of us, so he will be going down as well. They took down the Tusk, the Night Stalker, and even the Wisp on the northern side. Just such a scattered attempt. They wanted a really good little fight, but all they could find is little isolated targets, and they couldn't really pick which one they wanted to go on. Now going forward, Chris Brown forces out Sue's BKB, and Juggernaut just wailing away on the tier 3 tower, they call it. It's been a long time coming at this point. 27-minute game, and 29-17 is the victory for G-Pride. Just a lot going for them throughout this game. Really good laning phase, transitioning that into some excellent team fights, and just full domination of the map. So G-Pride will win this best-of-1 series. That will advance them to the next round. That means that they are going to be going up against Midas Club and seeing if they can try to take the 2nd seed in Group B. Whereas Stars are now the 4th seed and will be playing tomorrow in the very first round of the playoffs. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the South American qualifier for the MDL Changsha Major. Here we have one more match for you guys coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in. I'm myself and Blaze at BlazeCasting, and we will see you guys in just a few minutes for the next best of 3.